Всем привет, народ, с вами Херон, и сегодня мы продолжаем проходить сюжет Сумеру Genshin Impact. В общем-то, в прошлой серии мы пришли в пустыню, у нас тут песчаная буря, у нас тут непонятно что. Короче, продолжаем. Говорю сразу, не знаю почему пустыня жрет FPS. Неважно, записью, без.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, when I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots.
Okay.
Anything else?
Короче, я тут пока бродил не серии, да? Я пару вещей обнаружил. Во-первых, я тут все обходил, ну там надо было. Что это за зона? Две зоны, типа я вот с Татархонта открыл, а зоны закрыты. То бишь, это скорее всего сюжетное, но все же, почему? То есть у них нету такой вот красной хернюшки, окантовочки, которая типа показывает, что сюда нельзя. Я такой смотрю, ну блядь, не расследовано, ну не расследовано, ну пойду туда посмотрю. Прихожу туда, там какие-то эти, блядь, деревья. Ну, блядь, я давай же напролом к ним, короче, меня обратно выпроводили. И пока я туда летел, где-то в районе Ока Песков какая-то огромная пирамида. Ну или что-то похожее. Короче, интересно будет. Если нас туда приведут, уже прям жду не дождусь.
The scholars that have gone missing.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Сайна злобный.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange.
Do you also think Grandpa and the...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Была бы я сумасшедшая, я бы такого не умел. Откуда ты знаешь? Была бы ты сумасшедшая, и тогда бы разговор был бы чуточку другой.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough more.
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right?
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as...
Wow, what an... Okay. Thank you, sir.
Huh? Don't say anything. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay.
Он что-то услышал. Ну, понятное дело, у него уши, блядь, как 4 моих. Сами дышать. Спасибо. Вот эти двое о чем-то разговаривали, да? Я угадал?
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty King Deshret, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of this land. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here.
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of King Deshret's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why. Isn't it a sign of King Deshret's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they...
Huh. Now that you say it, That does make some sense.
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the
Huh?
Пиздатый Шаркан.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Эффектно. Главное, что работает.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Знаешь, а мне его методы в каком-то плане нравятся.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
То бишь, смотри, обычно, когда мы бродим, мы такие, нет и нет, пошел вон отсюда. Ну все, и пошли искать окольные пути. Приходит Сайна. Они говорят, а ты кто такой? Хуя, копье достал из ниоткуда, блядь. Даже не из кармана, блядь. И все такой. Жажду служить.
Tell
И все
me
такое.
about King Deshret's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madman will disappear, and that...
Hey, go.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for King Deshret's speedy return. Delavar also said that once King Deshret returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Бля, он даже... Сайна просто раз показал копье, они уже сами хотят побольше высказать.
Got it! At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking. But then, please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else...
The people here really like King Deshret, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village.
No,
Все-таки.
not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we...
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many... So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this.
Yes, got it.
Probably went half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that.
I heard that.
Да мы вроде и не это.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak! I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
А вдруг он на улице живет? Типа пустыня, свободный дух. О, 60 FPS. Все, так и оставайся. Тут тоже эти... А, да. Казалось бы, откуда тут такие штуки?
He likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs.
Погоди, малый. Поскольку я сейчас не хочу отходить от сюжета, пожалуй, поставлю меточку. Где она стоит? А что она не стоит? А, появилась. Типа, главное это приблизительно поставить эту меточку, чтобы я потом знал, что тут что-то точно доездит. Я тогда, как обычно, даже если не помню, просто по округе бегаю ищу. Он живет в пещере, да?
This is where Grandpa usually stays.
Ну, в принципе, как я и говорил.
Isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't, but are you okay? Are you getting...
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day.
So, You know Tainari?
Не.
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
Ну, типа, тот с ушами, этот с ушами. Чё, блин?
Yes. Concentrate. I can also make out the scent of incense.
Надо промочить.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too.
Фу.
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
Все, поперли. Цель находится где-то в этой... В какой области? А, в этой. А, блядь. Понял. Чё-то я не шарю. Какие зацепки? Посмотреть следы. Все, можно идти по следам? Нет, нельзя. Блин, Сайн, это ты оставляешь, да? Угу.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't
Следы, Пайман, следы.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. The scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
Вот это грустно.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking day.
No. So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something?
It's highly likely.
Я хочу грибочек
You
сам.
have to save my grandpa. Grandpa's... Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak.
Let's head to Aru village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here.
Да, не слишком, блин. Пошли сразу направо. Или типа вы специально дали мне сейчас возможность... В смысле? А, это песок. Я просто смотрю, какое-то темное, как будто увядание тут есть. А такой, в смысле, блин? Так, ну раз уж мы туда, я могу пойти забрать заодно. А, они здесь прикольно размещены. Не париться не надо, ничего, просто вот так зашел, забрал, ушел. Так, это получается можно убирать и возвращаться на ТПшки. Удобно. Да, конечно, есть районы там, где неудобно, там, где похуже, чем Люе, я бы даже сказал, хотя как бы казалось, как такое может быть. Ну, да. Почему это...
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice too.
И темные цвета идут.
We're back, Candace. We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too.
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
А что ему с нами
We
делать?
haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
Ага.
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we...
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team.
В
So you
каком
get an
плане
extra
есть ты?
pick. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
Ну да.
Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook.
Ну
These
да.
guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the
Там мужик
Academia.
стоит, Саня, ты его еще не заметил?
Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia, you're amazing! You really know this place inside and out.
А чё он так грустно смотрит на нее? С осуждением.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable and
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Why?
Aru village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But I need to go around and ask some questions. But it'll be difficult if you're with me. Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken.
All right, sounds like a plan.
То бишь она заметила. Хоть, сука, кто-то. Тоже начал переживать, что их навыки утухли. Да как приятно, когда есть телепорт. Никуда бежать не надо. И перед тем, как пользоваться этим удобством, нужно посетить.
Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar
Oh
with the
shit,
area.
here we go again.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
Yeah.
It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that we're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. Geniuses like Sataria are one in a million.
Во, я Сатария
The other
звали,
children
всё.
never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the Academia knows very well that we're human.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Tia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Ну, надейся. Так, Наверно, бухать. А как давно мы не были у Делюка на винокурне?
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Здорово.
Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
Собутыльники. Нормально.
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Engur, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested.
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days.
Отрубить ему
So,
одну
I'm
руку.
here to help him out.
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not?
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him.
Глянь, неплохо она его развела. Прямо этот, блядь. Прям шулер. А что-то... Я вот заметил, что в этом регионе городов Куево-Тутуево. Зачем только столько? Типа в Инадзуме понятно, почему много городов, там поселений, домов. Но здесь там... Чисто перевалочный пункт с телепортом. Все. Для сюжета. Ну шо, пора резать руки.
We there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark.
Ой, зря ты это начал. Мужики, может давайте вы мне деньги, и я вас так и быть не трону?
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have... Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the academia to...
So, you've been watching us from...
Так она все-таки не заметила, да?
Behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who did...
So you and Delavar have been...
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the... But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's...
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Engur. You're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of King Deshret despise the most.
И кто это здесь мышь?
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand why King Deshret is greater than the Dendro Archon.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some
Что, погоди,
baseless
а мы
rumors?
же...
Anything
Поэтому...
else I'm missing out on?
Мы же узнали, что вот эти слухи про Дешрета, это просто слухи от Академии.
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying.
Enough talking! Get him!
Пизда.
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Ну чё стоишь меч доставай? Только откуда ты его достанешь? Хороший вопрос.
following orders.
Right here. Delve into death.
До свидания. Блин, с них материалы не падают, это нечестно.
Impossible! How could you? So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called flame main is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village.
Ладно, значит, она все-таки заметила.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Okay.
Ну, блин, могла я руку ему отрубить, но елки-палки, я так этого ждал.
So you've been planning this since we were in Aru.
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking...
Oh, but instead of catching them right away...
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it...
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher,
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on...
Wow, what a genius idea!
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook.
So, that thing you were saying before...
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Да.
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the...
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people.
I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making...
But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done...
Dia...
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
А руку отрубить можно? Ну хочу отрубить ему руку, ну что такого?
This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Питать будет и без меня.
Do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Можно помочь все-таки? Ну, позязя. Так, дождите с 6 до 12. О, достижение. А чё? А, точно. Вроде 40 феек. Ля, еще сколько? На руками Канадзуки Ясиуи. На руками Канадзука Ясиуи. Сейчас, палит. Сейчас, минутку, мне надо это. Чисто для себя на минуточку. Это какой? Ага, этот закрыт. Сейчас Канадзуку и на руками. Даже по идее 21 сундук надо искать на Канадзуке. Тоже, ну блин, здесь сотка. Хотя здесь еще 9 катан не нашел. А здесь я не знаю, что искать идея. Надо ждать, пока репутацию повышу. И взять себе этот, как его, компас этот сделать. А то без компаса как-то неудобно закрывать. Бегаешь, блядь, как мышь. Так, уже можно? Ну, 6 до 12.
You heard the question. Now
Кому-то больно.
Candace is an expert at dealing with people.
Понял, надо ждать завтра. Аминь. Надеюсь, вам отрубили руку. Все? Все. Анали.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well.
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight
Военная
outside
доблесть.
the ring.
Где ты это услышал?
Yep,
Я этого даже не
guess
помню.
you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
И Сайна такой. Опять без меня все.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
come on in, everyone.
Ну,
Come on, let's go inside.
мне кажется, метод допроса Сайна это копье въебало. Не, ну а шо? Нормальный этот. Что ты об этом знаешь? Я ничего, як в руку. Ну, типа, вместо вилки копье. Нормальный допрос. Потом, как говорит, растереть и перевязать. И все, он в порядке. Что случилось, спросит. Да, он упал, наверное.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry.
Yes.
Please, don't beat us anymore.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community. And you come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal.
Отрубите им руку.
Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Неплохой кадр, кстати.
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there's one thing that I understand better than you. The people of Aru village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know, please.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in king.
They're called village keepers. slip up again.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him. I'm not...
That's one.
Шо один?
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by
О,
my hand.
вот этот подход мне нравится.
I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was...
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the... You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Спасибо, Сайна.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not that guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Сайна, не говори 3. Блять. 3.
Smooth.
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back?
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Неплохо. Плюс задание. Ну, только примагемы что-то не дают. И хочу отметить, что после того, как я закончу ивент, ну, без 20-ки за этот, за достижение, что так почему у меня 4 косаря было. Так что я получил, сейчас скажу. Ладно, я это проще могу сказать в крутках. До того, как я делал ивент, у меня было на 17 круток, теперь на 25. То есть, по сути, 8 круток я за события получил, это при том, что я еще не все получил. То есть, сами понимаете, да? Получается у меня... О, так у меня, в принципе, до тортилки все готово. Если 50 на 50 выиграю, то я его получу. Стопудово. Аль-Хайдай.
Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and
Ты
revealing what we have
читаешь, а мне
produced
ему
thus far.
закричаешь.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy!
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter. Yeah?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Сайна?
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work.
Really? I'm
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information.
Давай, удиви.
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that,
What does that mean?
how do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lie?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That, by contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace,
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
it's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the I mean...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them.
Remember? She made a point of denying...
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act...
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other...
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for...
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it...
We're on it.
Да-да-да. Да ладно, прям домой?
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but...
Да не убью я тебя, выходи.
What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers. Go on. Earn her...
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to... do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change
Нет.
Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's before. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Сложный вопрос.
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. But even so, we've met lots of people. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we...
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect...
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay.
The fact is that I'm... Only one side of my family is dead. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
Да, то, что он забывается
I'll
через
tell
пару
you what I
минут.
told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's hurt. But because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go.
Ладно, как далеко? И 100 метров. Давайте уже другой раз. Ладно, ребятки, на этом все. Всем спасибо за просмотр. К счастью, в коем-то веке я смог спокойно записать серию. Не волнуюсь за то, что мне сейчас, сука, вырубят свет. Я этому несказанно рад. Ну что ж, на этом все. Всем спасибо. Всем пока. И до новых встреч. Пока-пока.